Good April the 16th, on a stormy, cloudy, windy day, high atop the 33rd floor of the gorgeous brand new golden entrance of the $6.69 studio, overlooking beautiful Lake Superior. Current temperature is 59 degrees. Jay, hello, this is Artie Lang here. Old Vincenzo reports XRP desperately trying to reclaim critical support of this rising channel. Bearish rejections could result in a 30% or greater dump below 37 cents. Smash like, subscribe and bell notification, super chat to support the channel, become a member of Jabroni Killer. I implore you, dare you to find a better value of truth, education, and information than $2.69. Peace and love. That concludes our broadcast for today. Thank you for tuning in. The stormy clouds begin to part, revealing a glimpse of sunlight breaking through. As the winds calm down, a sense of tranquility settles over the 33rd floor.
Subscribe to the channel, comment down below. Good 16th day of April, if we can believe this already. Steadily marching our way closer to the summertime season after a hazy, overcast, occasionally rainy with strong winds out of the west and southwest gusting to 50 and isolated tornadoes just to the west of the greater Bloomington metropolitan area in central Illinois, with a current temperature of 69 degrees J at the Central Illinois Airport in Bloomington, right? And you need to comment down below, subscribe to the channel, and share to the #1 XRP and gold and silver bullion expert here exclusively on social media and YouTube, right? As we continue to fleece, heist, and shice the market manipulators, and I dare you to find a better value than $2.69. Yes. Remember, Jabroni Killer, right? I beg you to show me a better value of education and information, truth and integrity, right? But that's everything that I'm looking at in the Bitcoin price, right? If we look at the XRP price, it's the same thing. We're on this rising channel. Again, if we zoom out to the daily time frame, you can see, take that off, move that over here. You can see this rising channel is the same thing. Significant points that we have marked out are obviously when we broke into this, started the up and sideways consolidation into this rising channel. We got our first major rejection here in October of 2022, a slew of lower support, uptrending lower support, starting in about November, ending in about April of 2023, right? November of 2022. Second big rejection in April of 2023. Stayed right around the moving averages and well above the uptrending support for a very long time, besides one brief flash wick after that manipulated and orchestrated pump in XRP and a few of the other coins like its best friend XLM. And then we had the rounding bottom. We pumped back up, stabilized, and then had a nice pump back up into our second arrow of sellers of death, where the sellers have just been loaded up here. And we know from prior technical analysis, the sellers are really up there because we had an extended period right here where we consolidated from about December 2021 till about April of 2022. So over a year before we had a massive capitulation that started this bear flag that we're looking at right now, and then the flagpole, which is the rising channel. So there was a lot of sellers here because a lot of people for a long period of time bought a lot of XRP thinking that that was the bottom. And then they instantly, if they bought somewhere in the mean on that flash wick on that catastrophic day that the cryptocurrency market changed forever, where a bunch of Celsiuses, the BlockFis, the Three Arrows Capital, the FTXs of the world went bankrupt, right? Because they were trying to lend out. They were becoming lending platforms, trying to act like a bank, but a bank that can print money out of thin air can only pay so much. If they're offering you double or even triple what a bank can offer you in interest for a year, there's something wrong with it. And almost all of them have gone bankrupt given enough time, which usually it's about 5 years, right? So we're looking at that's that catastrophic 57% flush, right? And that's why those sellers are there, because anytime you sniff, making your you go from being 57% down, you go from putting $100,000 on it here, now you're down to $46,000 in the matter of from April to the middle part of, so about a month time, you went from 100 grand to about 46, 48, 50 grand. And then every time you snip up here a year and a half, almost 2 years later, you're quick to trigger to sell, right? You got up here, you got almost back to even depending on where you bought, you're out. You went from 100 grand to 48 grand to about 100 grand. They're getting out as quick as possible. These guys that were still in here that didn't learn their lesson over here quickly sold, along with the market manipulation and the institutional criminal gangsters that manipulate the pump by orchestrating and facilitating the paid promoters to push the coins at a strategic time in order to maximize the pump so that way they can sell it to the retail trader, right? Because those retail traders end up getting stuck like that, just new ones. But the XRP here, if we continue to move along here now that we understand where we're at in the pattern, right? You understand, I understand, we all understand. We zoom now into this 2-hour time frame we're going to go into because it's such a short time from when this happened, but we broke down out of the bottom part of this major blue trading zone at 59 cents finally and slipped it with a ferocious and forceful move. We had a massive uptick in volume down there in the 2-hour time frame. Very easy to see that uptick in volume. See them 4 sticks, big spikes in the candle. We had to sell off, the consolidation, another dump down to the major uptrending support of this rising channel that we just looked at, and now we're stationary on it with the moving averages starting to catch up. Usually after a big move, the price action will either quickly jump back up like it did and continue into the moving averages before it starts to chop down and trade, or it'll have a hyper pump, consolidate down, and then trade sideways and relax the price a little bit and allow the moving averages in local time frames to catch up, because one way or another, the price and the moving averages, no matter how far away one side or the other they get, like right here, that spread, they always end up back together before the next major move, usually, right? And if you want to get bullish, you got to start to fight these moving averages now, which is heavy sellers. And that's all these technicals are showing you when you put the moving averages on. These are where the rolling sellers are lining up, right? Where they've been in the past above the current price, right? Those are rolling sellers where there's heavy resistance where the price likes to come down. So you would have to fight back above these major areas, the 50 first, the 100, and then the 200 in green from bottom to top respectively. Get back to this major area where you had a forceful flush and have enough momentum to get back above it, form something that looks like that, and then have a ferocious pump back up to the major upper resistance at the top part of the zone, which is more likely locally as we chop around here and then eventually probably slip this again, come back for a major retest. And if we slip again, where I do think eventually we're going into not too far out into the future, I think we're retesting this 37 cents, which if we go into the 4-hour time frame and go into the somewhat far left zoomed out machine, back into this major area back here, up actually it is far because that was a long time ago. This area right here where we were trading within the mean of this 37 cents, major support and resistance, right? A lot of trading took place. A lot of buyers are in here. So there will be a lot of buyers stacked there trying to defend the bulls, trying to defend that critical area again. But the question is on the next flush to the downside, on the next test, on the next pressure, on the next bearish sentiment, will the bulls have enough left to fight off the sellers or the bears and pump the price back? Or are they going to be significantly and sufficiently orchestrated out because it took all of this to get it back up here? So now when you forcefully have a full lateral flush and fulfill what I'm trying to tell you here, this targeted move of this bear flag that started there is the flagpole. This is the flag, even though it's very long. And if you break that, a technical target is all the way down here through the 37 cents, knifes and cuts and chops its way through the VP volume indicator, where if you're above it, you're bullish. If you're below it, you're significantly bearish in XRP's history. And it hasn't slipped below it and held it in quite some time. But there was a 55% flush from the VP volume indicator within a week of breaking it the first time, and you would fulfill this target if you can't change the course of the current structure of XRP, and that's what we're looking at.